Hello, welcome to the second part of the showing some features of the p-bind, a type of the pattern in the Supercollider. I want to show you some features about the array, combine the array and the p-bind together to this video. In this video, to start, I just run a p-bind dot play. Here we are going to a sound which every second an event is playing, or a sound which is named an event in the pattern paradigm. And then, for example, into the p-bind here, frequency, for example 400, and in the next step we close the parentheses. Okay, every second we are listening to 400 Hz frequency, and here I want to show you some features about the arrays. Here, for example, I remove the 400 and, for example, use Pseq and then a array which is included of values of 100, 200, 300, 300 and 400. Alright, by pressing the combination keys control and return or enter in the Windows, and you hear that for frequencies 100, 200, 300 and the 400. The structure here is that you create an array. You know that every programming language use the square bracket to creating an array, and here also was similar to the other languages, and by open a square bracket and close the square bracket, you create an array. For example, here you know that A equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the square bracket, and you see that array is separated here, and but this is a method or a way to use array in a p-bind pattern, and it is the Pseq, p in the uppercase and Seq, and has some parameters. The first parameter is a list of the array, and the second one is the number of the repetitive. For example, I play it here again, and if I set the second parameter to the 2 or more than, here I mean 2, just 2 times, and then 3, this is the way of using an array in the p-bind. Pseq is so useful to apply our idea about the music. For example, we want to hear to this sound not every second. For example, the first one and the distance between the first one and the second one should be, for example, half of a second, for example, and the second one a second, and the third one can be 1.5 1 second and a half of the second. For example, here you know that the key delta is a prime which you can control your distance between your events or the sounds which you are hearing. For example, 0.5 I sit here and you see that here, or I set here 2 second. Every 2 seconds you should listen to the events or the sound. Okay, here by a Pseq pattern and create an array. For example, the first value of the array should be, for example, 0.1 and then 0.2 and then 0.3 and then 0.4, and here also should be 3, and you see here that the existence of the first and 2 events or the sound is, for example, 0.1, and the second one is 0.2, and third one is 0.3, and the fourth is 0.4. And you can, for example, change them to the other values. For example, I just delete the points and the zeros. All right. Okay, I want to just show you some combination of the arrays and the patterns, like the p-bind. You saw here a pattern, a new pattern which is named Pseq. Pseq just is given given a sequence like its name, and for example, when you put an array in that, you should listen to that values of the array sequentially. But I want to show you some features of the array. I showed you the first method of the creating of the array. For example, a equals square bracket open 1 and 2. For example, this is an array, and this is an array. And for example, you should know the numbers of the values in the array. For example, you can use the method of the size, and here, for example, operate for you 2. And this is some methods to create an array. For example, A equals array classes and then series. For example, we want to have 10 values, and from number 1 and from number 10, and from number 1 to number 10 each step increases just by 1. And here I just put the number 1, and here you should see that and you write that it is included at the 1 2 3 4 5 and etc. And also the, for example, a dot size here, we should see the number of 10, because we put the number of the array we want to have the 10 list. The parameters which you can control array series. For example, here array dot series, I just press the tab and then the comma, a size start step. This is the three keys which you should know to create an array series. For example, you want to have an array of the 10 values. Leave starting step on the 1, and you want to, for example, each self is 0.2, 0.1, and after the 10 steps, at the end you have the value of 2. Yes, I want to finish here this chapter. I hope that it was good. I just want to show you some features about the combination of the arrays and the Pseq and in the pbyte. See you in the next tutorial.